Right now at 6, we have an update on a couple of road projects in Joplin. Plus, it's a bit cold out there this morning. It's got a chilly day, but we'll have some sunshine. We'll talk about that forecast to get you out the door. And of course, with the cold temperatures arriving in
the 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 6 a.m. I'm Chris Warner, and it is finally Friday, January the 3rd here in the 4 states. Now 2 days, 2 full official days, whatever, 3 days, however you want to count it, into the new year. Either way, we're into the new year, new beginnings, a lot of new stuff going on. And of course, Mother Nature has her own plans for us. We'll talk about all that in just a moment. Hopefully, your holiday season has been fantastic. We've made it through some of the big ones, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and of course, New Year's. I got a few more to go through. Of course, stores already planning for Valentine's Day. You can go everywhere, and that's all they've got, and a lot of heart stuff. And now's a good time. Maybe now's a good time to stock up on some Valentine's things. And if you are heading out today, whether it's to work or to shop, or just because you don't like staying in the house, you're going to want to make sure you are bundled up. It's going to be a bit on the chilly side today. Quick look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We've got cloudy skies across the area, but at least partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Those skies will continue to clear as we go through the morning. Will be partly cloudy later today. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin also looking good as well. We do have low clouds. I've mentioned this before, but on my way in I could only see the bottom half of our tower. So we don't have fog, but we do have just a very low ceiling out there this morning. We also have winter storm watches for the entire northern third of our viewing area now. Yesterday again it was only Anderson and Coffee counties. Clearly it's been expanded. In fact, outside of our zone, it swings back a little off to the southeast. It covers most of Missouri and a good chunk of Kansas, all the way out to Wichita and points west. So a big winter event is on the way. We will go over the details of that in detail in a few more minutes. First for today, though, we'll have that north breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies out there. Chilly at noon and not too warm even by the afternoon hours. Upper 30s, low 40s out there. With that light breeze, it will make it feel even colder. Not significantly so, but it will feel colder. In fact, skies, though, this evening will actually clear by late evening, and then the clouds will make a rapid return as we head towards sunrise tomorrow. We're sitting at 30 in Joplin, 28 in Pittsburgh right now, and across the area temperatures are holding out into the mid to upper 20s and low 30s. But again, even with the light north breeze, it's enough. We got wind chills in the upper teens and low to mid 20s, so we all feel much colder across the area. Again, our highs today, upper 30s, low 40s, partly cloudy skies. We'll have some brief clearing late evening. Clouds returning as we head into tomorrow. Temperatures tonight back into the 20s, and then tomorrow kicks off our weekend winter weather. And as I mentioned, we will go over all of those details with you here in just a few more minutes. And of course, we're talking about that cold weather. We're talking dangerously cold weather as we head into Sunday and Monday and most of next week. So now's a good time to start thinking about how to protect your home. Now, to avoid costly damage and to stay warm, you need to make sure you're keeping an eye on your pipes. Missouri American Water in Joplin reminds us that you need to know how to turn off your main water shutoff valve and ensure your sprinkler or irrigation system is fully drained. Taking some of these simple steps can save you time, money, and the headache of unexpected repairs this season.
One thing I really want to emphasize to our customers, do not lift our meter lid, because ultimately the meters set down in the ground, they're insulated, so when they open the meter lid and expose that meter to the cold air, it can cause the meter to freeze, which just then compounds the problem.
Missouri American also says you should wrap exposed pipes with insulation to help prevent them from freezing as well. And of course, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You get severe weather updates and, of course, winter weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Kansas Highway Patrol releases its annual New Year's Eve traffic crash report. Troopers reported one non-DUI related fatality crash over the holiday evening. They also reported 12 DUI arrests in addition to 286 citations for speeding. And the Missouri Highway Patrol also released its annual New Year's Eve traffic crash report. Troopers reported 0 vehicle fatalities over the holiday. That was out of 44 traffic crashes, 21 traffic injuries, and 50 DWIs. Numbers reflect a 30-hour counting period from 6 p.m. on Tuesday night to 11:59 Wednesday night. There were no boating crashes or drownings during this year's holiday counting period. And we have an update on roadwork progress in Joplin. Crews are making progress on the Zora and Duquesne intersection improvement project, with the foundation for the new roundabout taking shape. Now, while the roundabout has yet to open, work continues with the anticipated completion date of early 2025. Work also continues at the intersection of 4th Street and Murphy Boulevard. This beautification and traffic improvement project is also scheduled for completion early this year. And for the second consecutive offseason, the Joplin Outlaws announced some changes within their front office. Last year, Nick Weisenborn was the team's general manager. He then moved on to a new role with the league office in the fall. Yesterday, Joplin Outlaws introduced Brian Flynn as their new owner and president of baseball operations. He is a former professional baseball player, originally from Tulsa. Flynn was drafted by the Detroit Tigers in 2011 and went on to spend 3 seasons as a pitcher with the Kansas City Royals from 2016 to 2019. The former home of one of Joplin's most famous athletes is now honoring his legacy. Crew has been working for the past 10 months to restore the past home of Irish Johnny Copeland, who started his boxing career in 1960 as a member of the Joplin Boys Club. By 1970, Copeland turned professional, earning 26 knockouts during his pro career. Now the Joplin Icon's home has been renovated to become a memorabilia house honoring Copeland and his career.
We really feel the privilege to be doing something for the city to enrich the history of it. Because Joplin is a historic town. History needs to be preserved.
Yesterday marked a ribbon cutting for the site. Work is not finished yet. In the meantime, organizers have applied to have the home listed as an historical landmark. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather here in the first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, President Biden is expected to announce whether to block a Japanese firm's takeover of U.S. Steel. Plus, Bourbon Street in New Orleans reopened after a truck rammed into a crowd, killing 14 people. And we're having another look at your wintry forecast for today, which isn't too bad, and then the weekend, which isn't too good. When we come back, you're watching the KOAM Morning News. We will be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, jobless claims hit an 8-month low to close out 2024. Latest weekly initial claims for unemployment benefits total 211,000. It's 10,000 less than estimates predicted. Data released Thursday morning by the Department of Labor showed continuing claims for unemployment benefits fell to 1.84 million for the week ending December 21st. That's a 3-month low. Thursday's data underscores that the U.S. labor market remains resilient and continues to cool in a slow and steady manner. And President Joe Biden is expected to announce soon whether to block a Japanese firm's $14 billion takeover of U.S. Steel, century-old steelmaker based in Pennsylvania that has struggled in recent years. The president was cleared to make an executive decision on the matter after a federal committee reviewing the transaction did not make a formal recommendation about whether the takeover should be allowed. Japan's Nippon Steel has said it was determined to protect and grow U.S. Steel by investing nearly $3 billion into its unionized facilities. Nippon has indicated it would take legal action if the deal was blocked. President-elect Donald Trump has posted on social media that he would also block the deal. This morning, we're getting a clearer picture of the moments surrounding Wednesday morning's deadly attack in New Orleans. Authorities have now clarified that 14 people were killed when a man drove a truck into throngs of people on Bourbon Street. The attacker was also killed after he exchanged gunfire with police. The incident left dozens of people injured. Bourbon Street reopened yesterday, and as Katie Weiss reports, residents and visitors there say they won't live in fear.
Crowds returned to Bourbon Street Thursday, along with extra police presence.
We're not going to be scared or terrorized. New Orleans is going to keep going like we always do.
Authorities now say the man who rammed a truck through crowds celebrating the new year early Wednesday acted alone.
We're confident at this point that there is no accomplices.
The FBI says Shamsuddin Jabbar rented an electric truck on Monday in Houston, Texas, where he lived, and drove to New Orleans on Tuesday evening. After midnight on the morning of the attack, he placed 2 improvised explosive devices in coolers in the French Quarter. He posted a final online video proclaiming support for ISIS just minutes before he plowed into the crowd on Bourbon Street.
I'm devastated.
CBS spoke with the attacker's brother.
Still find it hard to believe that this is actually happening.
But it did happen, and now 14 families are mourning the loss of lives cut tragically short.
Like 27-year-old mom Nicole Perez.
She worked so hard. She had a lot of dreams.
And 25-year-old Matthew Tenedorio, who worked at the Superdome.
He was just a very loving, everybody's friend kind of person.
Yesterday, the postponed Sugar Bowl was played at the Superdome after a message from President Joe Biden.
The spirit of New Orleans can never be kept down.
And a moment of silence for the victims. Katie Weiss, CBS News, New Orleans.
We have learned that the 2 police officers who were injured during the gunfight with the attacker have been released from the hospital. The FBI says there's still an active investigation, and they're calling on members of the public to come forward with any information as they try to piece together how the attacker became radicalized enough to kill. Let's look at some of today's top national stories. We're taking a look outside. No, sorry, we're not. We're taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, and this will actually give you an idea as to how expansive the winter storm watches are. So our local map, of course, only highlighting our counties, but take a look at how broad of an area this thing covers. We're talking, again, most of Missouri, back through southern Illinois, back into west central Kansas. It is a large area of this winter storm watch. We will go over those winter details with you here in just a few more minutes. What can you make with more than 1,000 pounds of butter? Well, for artists in Pennsylvania, the answer is a life-size cow sculpture that was just unveiled ahead of the farm show. Priscilla Ligori gives us a look.
Farmer Casey Hershey considers cows to be nature's superheroes and says this year's farm show butter sculpture brings that story to life.
Our cows help upcycle food scraps, enrich the soil, reduce carbon footprints, and contribute to renewable energy. It's truly incredible to think about how much these animals help to power Pennsylvania.
The sculpture features a life-size cow next to a methane digester, which is a renewable energy system, plus some farm, some city. These Montgomery County artists spent 2 weeks in the butter booth, molding together more than 1,000 pounds of butter donated by Land O'Lakes.
This art that we have created shines an important spotlight on dairy farmers and the dairy products produced.
After the farm show, the butter won't go to waste. It will be recycled into renewable energy on a dairy farm.
It makes sense, given the show's theme is Powering Pennsylvania.
The theme is a testament to the power of agriculture in every region of Pennsylvania. It's the engine that powers our economy, builds our communities, and drives the quality of life.
The farm show was put together by hundreds of committee members and thousands of volunteers. It's set to feature more than 275 vendors, 12,000 competition entries, and 4,000 animals. New for 2025.
We do have some mini cattle that are going to be here this year, so you can kiss a cow.
That'll be hosted by Swartz Farm, located in Brecknock Township, Berks County. PPL will also teach people how to protect your farm and family from accidents around power lines and other electrical and power generating equipment. There will be a Woman in Ag series hosted by well-known author Dr. Temple Grandin. You can get a bite of your favorite foods and taste different options too, like loaded potato cakes and Brussels sprouts.
We do have the mint milkshake this year.
The food court opens Friday and the show officially starts Saturday.
There's one big buttered cow. Well, that butter sculpture will be on display in the main hall of the Pennsylvania Farm Show for all 8 days. And it's definitely cold enough and will be cold enough. If you build a buttered sculpture outside, it won't go anywhere. Today, though, a bit chilly. We'll go over those details and, of course, talk about this weekend's winter weather right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:21 now on this Friday morning. Starting with this, we have a winter storm watch for virtually the entire northern third of our viewing area. Now, off to the west, the watch runs through Sunday afternoon, and off to the east, it runs through Sunday night. There's no specific expiration times. Those are literally the times that they say. So these at least continue through Sunday, and we're going to take a look at what exactly is going on. Now, today, it's not going to be too bad. It's going to be chilly, but it's not going to be that bad. We'll have north winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll have partly cloudy skies, cool temperatures out there for sure. As we head in the late evening hours, the skies will actually clear, and then towards sunrise tomorrow, the clouds thicken right back up. And not long after that, we begin our wintry weather. Now, tomorrow, I want to emphasize, at least at this point, yes, there could be some minor accumulations, but we're not expecting anything significant tomorrow. It's Sunday that we're really watching out there. So by 9 a.m., get some light showers, maybe some light freezing rain or sleet, and that will continue to overspread the area throughout the day on Saturday. Now, Saturday also going to be a normal day in the sense that temperatures will warm up through the day like they're supposed to. So some, especially in our southern counties, you may only see rain with this activity, while up north, if it stays a little colder, talking a wintry mix, maybe some light freezing rain or some sleet up north. So it will still lead to slick spots. Even though if it doesn't have to add up to much, it can still lead to slick spots, especially on bridges and overpasses. And believe it or not, between tomorrow and Sunday, we could have a thunderstorm or two. Yeah, nothing severe. There's a severe threat to our south and east, but for us, we could have a rumble of thunder mixed in with all of this excitement that's getting ready to go down Sunday. So overnight Saturday into Sunday, showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, and maybe even some thunder sleet mixed in here as well. We have that low pressure system. Yesterday we talked about it riding the Kansas-Oklahoma border. It's moved just about 10 miles to the south, which is good. If it moves too much further south, we have a bigger problem. But at this point, hopefully it doesn't change its mind and move further south. If it does, I'll tell you, the problem we'll be facing is the possibility of a significant ice storm event for the area if this low tracks too far south. Again, right now, not looking to do that. But what will happen is it's going to split the area in half. Our northern counties, this is as warm as most of you will get, about the mid-30s early Sunday. And your temperatures will slowly fall through the day. But right along that low, we're dealing with rain, showers, thunderstorms, again, thunder sleet even possible. But temperatures are warm. By 9 a.m., we're almost 50 degrees. The issue is, as that low rolls on through, temperatures could potentially plummet back behind that, which could lead to flash freezing of rainfall on streets and elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, causing its own problems. We'll have a mix outside of that of freezing rain, sleet, and snow. And then as we go later into the afternoon, it turns into all snow because that low is now moving into north central Arkansas. And it brings in a gusty north wind, and we're talking the potential for blowing snow, so that could lead to reduced visibilities and much colder air settling in behind it. So here we are at 5, snow across the entire area, and by late Sunday evening it is out of here and it just leaves us cold and cloudy as we head into Monday. Snow tracker. If you haven't joined us before, you're just joining us now, I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's going a little overboard up around Yates Center, Iola, and Eureka. But I think for the most part outside of that, it's almost spot on. We're talking 1 to 3 inches in our southern counties and 3 to 5 up into our northern counties in terms of snow. Now further north, they're expecting a more significant ice event, but we still could have some ice accumulations that could lead to some problems. I mean, 1/4 of an inch of ice can still lead to problems, and we could even get a glaze of ice across the rest of the region as well. It won't really show up on here, but that is a possibility, and if we get the ice, that also could lead to helping the snow stick better to surfaces, even where it was warmer earlier. On top of that, we have the wind chills to contend with. Monday morning, we're dealing with wind chills below 0. They don't really improve all that much during the day Monday, and they turn around and get frigid again, sub-0, as we head into Tuesday. So we do have that possible alert day for Sunday. We're watching it very closely. As for today, upper 30s, low 40s, same tomorrow. And then Sunday, southern counties, mid to upper 40s, northern counties, mid-30s, all of us bitterly cold after that. And the dangerously cold temps continue into the start of next week with maybe some additional snow showers by next Thursday. Switching gears over now to Health Watch. A study in JAMA Network Open found patients with more advanced breast cancer at the time of diagnosis were also more likely to have pre-existing cardiovascular disease. Researchers at the University of Texas say cardiovascular disease can suppress the immune system, which may accelerate breast tumor cell growth and spread. Patients with the breast cancer subtype HR positive and HER2 negative were most likely to have pre-existing cardiovascular disease. A new nasal swab test could diagnose a specific asthma subtype in kids. Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh say the non-invasive test could help doctors better prescribe medications. It may also lead to more research for better treatments in lesser studied types of asthma, which is the most common chronic childhood disease and disproportionately affects Black and Hispanic youth. And if you need another reason to get up and get moving, how about 19 of them? A University of Iowa study of more than 7,000 patients found those who exercise moderately to vigorously at least 150 minutes a week were at statistically significant lower risk of having 19 chronic diseases, including cancer and cardiovascular disease. Researchers recommend doctors ask their patients about their level of physical activity. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. And it's going to be a chilly day today. We'll have a few clouds here and there. We'll talk about that forecast to get you out the door. Plus, volunteers heading out to Spiva Park in Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's finally Friday, thank goodness. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm slightly exhausted. We've had a lot of holidays, a lot to get through. I love the holidays. Like, don't get me wrong, family, friends, loved ones, you all gather together. Sometimes it's really the only time of the year you can get everyone in one place at the same time. But boy, by the time it's over, you need to hibernate, honestly. Maybe that's what we should be doing. I'm just kidding. We don't want to hibernate. We'd miss out on all the fun of 2025. And we're going to have a great year, all right? We're going to get there. It's a bit chilly to start, but we're going to make it. It's a little bit cloudy out there. Did I mention the time? Does anybody know if I even started the show the right way? It's 6:30. It's almost 6:31. I'm Chris Warner, by the way. Look. Tennyson made really strong coffee, and I don't know what kind of impact it's having, but it's having an impact. And it's Friday, January the 3rd. Let's see if we can get through the rest of this show somewhat coherently and take a look outside with our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We've got cloudy skies, a little hard to see because it's dark outside, but I assure you there are some clouds here and there. We've got partly to mostly cloudy skies. We also have a really low cloud ceiling. It's a little easier to see here on the MODOT camera with some of those low clouds. My way in, I could not see the upper half of our tower here at the station. It's not fog. There's no fog out there. It's just a really low ceiling this morning. We have winter storm watches the entire northern third of our area. Yesterday, it was just Anderson and Coffee counties. Now it's the entire northern third of our area. To the west, because remember, there are 5 different offices that cover us. And in this area alone, there are, I believe, 3 different weather offices that cover the northern portion. The western half, they run through Sunday afternoon. That is the exact wording on the expiration time. Same to the east, except it's Sunday night. They don't give a specific time, but just know that we're expecting winter weather this weekend. I know you already know that, but you can see we're getting a little closer, getting a little finer detail, and we're going to go over all those details in detail in just a few more minutes. But for today, we'll have a north breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chilly start, though. Look at these temperatures by noon, only into the mid-30s. Partly cloudy skies, and then by late evening, skies will actually clear, and then they'll thicken back up as we head into Saturday. And Saturday, of course, kicks off the weekend of winter weather. 30 in Joplin right now, 28 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, temperatures holding out into the upper 20s. And low 30s for most of us. And even with a light north breeze, look at these wind chills. Feels like 16 in Iola. We've got a lot of teens out there. We've got some 20s as well, so it certainly feels cold. Today, highs upper 30s, low 40s. Again, partly cloudy skies for the majority of the day. Brief clearing late this evening before the clouds thicken back up. And then the winter weather arrives. And as I mentioned, we will go over all of those details with you here in just a few more minutes. And as we've mentioned, cold air, it's on the way. It's already cold. It's going to get colder yet. And it's important to remember how these low temperatures can affect our four-legged friends. Now, the vet at Columbus Veterinary Clinic reminds pet owners to keep safety in mind. He says dehydration is a risk during the winter because a pet's water bowl that's left outside can freeze and leave your pet dehydrated. He also says the cold air could make their airways tighten up and cause low blood pressure.
Making sure that they're able to escape the wind is the biggest thing, because if the wind chill drops too low, they're not able to maintain their thermal neutral zone or their comfort zone for their own body temperature.
He says if your pet has a compromised heart or lung, they shouldn't stay outside in very cold temperatures for longer than 30 minutes. And of course, we got that winter weather rolling in Sunday. That could lead to possible closings. We want to remind our school, government, and church officials to check your login now. You can get help if something's not working right. That way you can ensure if you have any closings Monday, they will get through. You'd scan that QR code on your screen or go to KOAMnewsnow.com/closings. Additionally, for you folks at home, that's the same place you'll be able to find those closings should we have any come Monday morning. Mercy Joplin welcomes its first baby of the new year. Riella Miles entered the world at 1:58 p.m. on January 1st. Now, not to be outdone, Mercy Pittsburgh announced its first baby of the new year. Asia's Jackson made her debut at 2:46 in the afternoon on January the 1st. Babies born in the new year and in the next 14 years will make up Generation Beta. And it's not just Christmas trees in living rooms that are coming down. Volunteers in Joplin turned out yesterday to help take down decorations in the city's Spiva Park. People helped unwrap lights and coil them up for next year, though we all know the Tangle Fairy will get to them anyway, as well as teamed up to take down those bigger pieces. Event organizers also provided hot chocolate to keep everyone warm. And what began as a passion for anime in their teenage years has now evolved into a gathering of adults who come together to watch the latest shows at the Joplin Public Library. Last night, the library hosted an anime manga hangout for grown-ups event. Organizers say activities like this provide an opportunity for those interested to connect with others and enjoy the culture.
So this started because we have a version of this for in the teen department for teens, and it was really popular. They still host it every month, and we had teens that were aging out of that program that were, not teenagers anymore. So we began to get requests for an adult version.
The library will host more gatherings for anime and manga lovers on February 6th and March 6th. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. It is Friday. We mentioned that earlier, and you know what that means. Shannon Becker, he's hanging out with us. He's got his big 3 stories of the week. And as we mentioned too, it's a cool, somewhat partly cloudy day today. We'll have details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio. That's him, by the way. He's got his big 3 news stories of the week. Shannon, good morning. A lot has been going on here lately. We're getting through the holidays, getting into the new year.
Yeah.
Been a little bit busy out there.
News slows down for no one.
That's true. It never stops.
Nope. Here are the big 3 stories this week. KOAM News Now, live and breaking news. The Joplin Expo Center, I know Chris and I were talking about this privately not too long ago. It is going to be opening 40,000 square feet. And it is not going to be until the summer, though. We've talked with the owner. It's actually a separate property from the North Park Mall. It's 10.8 acres owned locally. So that's going to be a big difference. A lot of people said, oh my gosh, the mall, blah, blah, blah. Nope, not even associated with it. That's a peek inside. You can see it's kind of a bare canvas right now. So they still have some work they want to get done. But if you're out there, you can see on the south side of the North Park Mall there, if you're kind of near Spring River Christian Village, you can check that out. More details, we'll continue to follow that story. Our number 2 Joplin News First, Harley Davidson was struck by an SUV at Lone Elm and Fountain Road the other day. The driver just yesterday, a day before yesterday, came out of surgery in Springfield. She's got a long way to recover, but might be coming home in the next couple of weeks, in fact.
That's good. That's very good.
I know a lot of people have been asking how the driver was doing in that motorcycle. The SUV driver was not injured. Our number 1 story, it keeps on going. I knew it would. A UPS truck overturned into the North Fork of the Spring River in southwest Dade County. Wow. It was something I couldn't even believe when I saw it. Driver was not injured, though. He was checked out by EMS and got a private ride home. So that's amazing.
That's incredible. That's
some gifts. I think were probably a little late for the holiday, around in there. But anyway, the packages, they were all intact as they threw them all back into the truck there. They really got it out fast. This is a fast forward of actually them pulling it out. Schrader Sewing, they always do a great job. But he said, it's just really a tin can, is what he told me. I was like, that's so fast. And then our bonus story of the week, Meow, cat up a pole. This is at PSU, and Evergy Energy went to rescue the cat straight up the top of the pole at the nature walk area of PSU. So he's got a box there. Kitty is like, I don't know about this. And lo and behold, I was shocked that he just hopped right in. Maybe they had something there to tempt the cat to hop into the box.
Maybe so. Yeah, he seems a little uncertain at first. So he's like, this is awfully high up. Are you sure about that?
I don't know. They don't know who the owner is, so they're taking care of it. Staff there at PSU. Hopefully they'll be finding a more permanent home for Kitty. That's our bonus story of the week.
I'm sure that cat got up there and then immediately regretted that decision. Seemed like a cool idea at first.
Somebody said on Facebook, they said, oh, they got the cat down. It went right back up. I don't know.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. And I'm also kind of curious. This is something I'll watch, I'm sure. The Macy's building, the new Joplin Expo,
right.
It's 85,000 square feet, and they're only using 40,000.
Right.
So that makes me curious about the other 40,000 square feet.
Could be some offices, I don't know.
Should be interesting, something to watch, and certainly beneficial. Shannon, thank you so much for coming on in this morning. We will be back with birthdays, anniversaries, and a check of that wintry forecast right after this. All right, it is time for some Friday birthdays, and I made the plea yesterday for more birthdays. We've got 25 on this list, and we're going to start in Carthage with Shepard Baugh celebrating birthday number 1. Happy birthday, Shepard.
The big number 1 for Talon Pauly from Pittsburgh. Love from your brothers, mom, dad, and your whole family. Happy birthday.
And in Columbus, Summer Clark celebrating birthday number 6 today. Very happy birthday to you, Summer.
Owen Hetty from Parsons, Kansas, turns 11 today.
And also in Parsons, Wyatt Hernandez celebrating birthday number 13. Says happy birthday from mom, dad, and Ryder. We love you and hope you have a wonderful day.
Avery Soper is 17 from Columbus. Happy birthday.
And then Chanute Ryan Olson celebrating birthday number 27 today. Says love from all your family and friends.
41 years old, Ben Jones from Stillwell, Kansas. Happy birthday, Ben.
And in Thayer, Preston Whitley celebrating birthday number 43 today. Happy birthday.
If you happen to see Amber Holloway in Parsons, Kansas today, it's her birthday. Tell her happy birthday.
And in Humboldt, we've got Kristen Smith celebrating birthday number 47. A very happy birthday to you.
Jeanette Crane in Columbus is 63 years young. Yeah, happy birthday, Jeanette.
Absolutely. And our neighbor in Crestline, Dan Duncan, celebrating birthday number 74. I'm sure with many more to come. A very happy birthday to you, Dan.
Happy anniversary to Greg and Molly Lovell from Frontenac. It's their 15th wedding anniversary today.
And we're heading back to Parsons for Tanisa Webb, celebrating another year wiser. Oh, how did this work out on this list? Tanisa, very happy birthday to you. And this, you could announce it all on your own.
I'll pass on this one.
We also have another very special birthday.
Oh, my Lord. What is that?
I'm not really sure, because Shannon, you don't look like that.
Yeah.
But according to this is Shannon Becker.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
He's right here.
All right.
He's celebrating with us. A very happy birthday, Shannon. You're what? If you've known me since I was little, you're like 25, 26, right?
38 this year. 38.
Oh, 30, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Columbus, Kansas, 24 years old. Happy birthday to Macy Gray today.
And also in Columbus, Cindy Johnson celebrating birthday number 68. Happy birthday, Cindy.
Ann Wells in Crestline, 96. Happy birthday, Ann.
Absolutely. And we head over to Chanute for Phyllis Altman celebrating another year wiser.
Lana Royster from Galena, Kansas. Happy birthday, Lana.
And we've got Misty Sullivan. Boy, the party is in the bus today. Misty Sullivan in Columbus celebrating a birthday.
And Evan McNemar from Columbus also. Happy birthday, Evan.
All right, now see, that's a birthday list. That's how that list should be. Yesterday, we only had 2, and I can't believe there were only 2 people celebrating a birthday yesterday. That's a birthday list. Let's keep them all like that. And you can help us out by submitting your birthdays and or anniversaries to this email address. That's birthdays with an S at the end at KOAMnewsnow.com. You see the deadlines there on the bottom of your screen. You've got to make sure you meet those in order for them to air on the proper date. You also want to include the date of the celebration so that they do air on the proper date. Also, very important information there. Now, I've got some very important weather information. I'm sure Shannon is probably going to be busy this weekend, especially Sunday into Monday, because I know you go out and keep an eye on all the road conditions for everybody. And there's going to be a lot to keep an eye on. We have winter storm watches, the entire northern third of our area. Yesterday, it was just Coffee and Anderson County. Today, northern third. Now, again, 5 different weather offices cover our zone, and 3 of those cover this section alone. But some good news, they've divvied it up. The west end, these run through Sunday afternoon. The east end, they run through Sunday night. So we got to keep a lot in mind as we head into the weekend. You've got to stay weather aware. I know it's winter weather. It's not severe weather, but it's winter weather, and it can be just as dangerous. What the difference is instead of it being an immediate threat to your property, it's an immediate threat to you if you're out on the roads or out in this business. So let's talk about what we're expecting. Now today, not too bad. It's going to be chilly. Absolutely, it's going to be chilly. A light north breeze, about 5 to 10, partly cloudy skies. By noon, we are only in the mid-30s for most of us, but we will eventually warm a little, and then by late evening the clouds will go away, and then they will come back, and they will do so after about midnight, 1 a.m., and they return with a vengeance. We're talking cloudy skies to start the day Saturday. Winds shift out of the east overnight, still about 5 to 10 miles an hour, but the further we go into Saturday, and I haven't touched on this, and I apologize, this is something you need to know. It's just as important as well. It's going to be very windy tomorrow and Sunday and into the first portion of Monday. So that's something else to keep in mind with the wintry precipitation, with gusty winds out there that can lead to blowing snow. And while we may not get 6 feet of snow by any means, and we're not expecting that, blowing snow nonetheless, that can significantly reduce visibilities. If there's ice on the road, traction's going to be difficult. You add in a gusty wind, that's going to make it even more difficult. So you need to keep that in mind. Now Saturday, we're not expecting any kind of major accumulations, but slick spots absolutely possible. Tomorrow is a traditional kind of day in that it will warm up throughout the day, and it'll be similar to today in terms of temperature. So with that said, some of you will get that wintry mix, maybe some light freezing rain or some sleet, and down where it's a little warmer, most of you in the southern end of our area will only see rain. And as crazy as this sounds, thunderstorms also possible. Now, not severe weather, but we could get some thunderstorms or even some thunder sleet tomorrow and Sunday. So that could lead to bursts of heavier snow or heavier freezing rain or sleet. And again, it may not add up to a ton, but it could lead to some bursts of some heavier precipitation out there. So that's something to keep in mind. We go overnight and into Sunday morning. Still showers and thunderstorms and the possibility of thunder sleet and freezing rain. Now, here's where the interesting part kicks in. That low pressure we talked about, still on track. It's a few miles further south than where it was yesterday, but not significantly so. And that's good. If it goes too far south, we're looking at a major ice storm event. Thankfully, it doesn't appear that that's going to happen. It's going to be right across through here. That's going to keep it warmer in the southern half of our area initially on Sunday and colder up north. So Sunday morning, mid-30s, are where most of our northern counties are going to be for highs. Down south, we're talking mid-upper 40s, but that's going to happen early in the morning, earlier than usual. About 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, they'll reach those highs. So north of that low, gusty winds, freezing rain, sleet, thunder sleet possible, and some light snow. South of that, thunderstorms, gusty winds out there as well. The other concern that we've got here is with this low, as it moves on out to the east, temperatures will fall behind it. The question is how fast they'll fall. Now, in our northern counties, again, your temperatures will fall gradually through the day. But where this low is, keeping it warmer, there are some concerns that temperatures could plummet as the low moves through. And that could lead to flash freezing of the rain on roadways, elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, and cause its own problems just doing that. As we go later into Sunday, eventually temperatures continue to drop, and we're just going to be dealing with a gusty north wind and all snow through the rest of Sunday afternoon into the evening. And by late evening, it is out of here. Really quickly, want to mention snow totals, again, Yates Center, I think the future track's going a little overboard, but we're looking roughly at 1 to 2 inches in our southern counties and about 3 to 5 in our northern counties out there. We're going to have one more look at your forecast, plus the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., 3 teenagers risk their lives by entering a massive barn fire to save the homeowners. Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. For the second consecutive offseason, the Joplin Outlaws announced some changes within their front office. Yesterday, the Outlaws introduced Brian Flynn as their new owner and president of baseball operations and former professional baseball player. Flynn was drafted by the Detroit Tigers in 2011 and went on to spend 3 seasons with the Kansas City Royals. As the possibility of winter weather nears, we do want to remind school, government, and church officials, test your closing logins on our website. Make sure they work. You can scan that QR code or go to koamnewsnow.com/closings. And again, colder air on the way. Now is the time to start thinking about how to protect your home. You need to be sure you're keeping an eye on your pipes to avoid costly damage. Wrapping exposed pipes with insulation will help prevent them from freezing. You also need to know where your main water shutoff valve is and ensure your sprinkler or irrigation system is fully drained. That's a check of today's top headlines, news you need to know before you head out the door. And as you head out the door, it is a chilly start to the morning. It's going to be a chilly day, upper 30s, low 40s, partly cloudy skies, and a north breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. We're going to go back into the 20s tonight. Skies will clear for a moment, late evening, and then clouds return overnight as well. Ahead of our winter weather as we head into the weekend. Could have a rain-snow mix, maybe some thunder showers or some thunder sleet even as a possibility, and that continues into Sunday. Our southern counties on Sunday, this possible alert day, will reach highs early in the mid-40s. Our northern counties will top out in the mid-30s, and the temperatures will drop on the backside of this as it changes over to snow, and then dangerous cold air continues after that for a while. Well, coming up today at noon, we are making baked eggplant parmigiana in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. I did not say that right at all, but that's okay. Your morning news also continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings, or you can stick with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, a historic home in Joplin is renovated to honor one of the city's most famous athletes. And Shannon Becker back in the studio with his big 3 stories of the week. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be back here with whatever may be happening by Monday morning at 5 a.m., and we'll see you again at noon.